ECOWAS has rejected Niger Junta 3 years power transition plan. Well, I'm just wondering what is going to happen now with this new development in Niger. When the military took over, ECOWAS gave them 3 days, 1 week ultimatum, 7 days ultimatum to restate the Mohamed Bazoum, that is the president that was outright overthrown, to restate him to power. And now the 1 week has come and gone. Now ECOWAS has not done anything, and apart from the sanctions that they have imposed on Niger. But with this new development, Niger, to some extent, has said, okay, we are ready for dialogue, but this is what we will do first. Before any dialogue, we are going to remove all the sanctions you have, imposed on us. And now they have also given release had a press release on Saturday night that they are going to, in 3 years, they are going to, be in power for 3 years, then transit to civilian rule. But the ECOWAS Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, Abdel-Fatau Musa, stated this during an interview with BBC on Sunday. Daily Trust reports that General Abraham Tacha, leader of the Niger Junta, has said in a television broadcast on Saturday night that the army will hand over power to the civilian government within the next 3 years. But in the interview, Abdel Fatou Musa said that General Tacha's proposal is just a smokescreen for dialogue and diplomacy. Now, he said earlier on Saturday, former military head of state General Abdulsalam Abubakar, retired, led a delegation of the ECOWAS Economic Community of West Africa State ECOWAS to Niger in a last-ditch diplomatic effort to reach a peaceful solution with the Niger junta. The delegation met with Prime Minister Ali Lema Zeni, who received them at the airport and led them to the presidential palace. They later met with the outed Niger's President Mohamed Bazoum after meeting with General Abraham Tacha, the head of the junta. It was the first peace talk led by General Abdulsalam Abubakar that ECOWAS activated its standby force. It said Niger junta has ignored the ultimatum to restate President Mohamed Bazoum. Well, uh, the way it's going right now, the only way out in this Niger coup issue is diplomatic issue. Is diplomatic. There is no other way to go around it. Uh, the idea of ECOWAS activating the standby force and all that, I don't think there's any African country right now who is ready to go to war in another man's country. And we know how these things work. The question is, when you see people fighting this kind of war, the first question they ask themselves is what we stand to gain. Then, if there is nothing so special they stand to gain, they use diplomatic efforts, and that is exactly what they will end up doing. Now, the army has come out, the Niger military junta has come out to say, look, we'll hand over to civilian government in the next 3 years, and ECOWAS have rejected that and say that won't work. But how the way it is now, I want to believe there's high tension in the camp of the ECOWAS of what next to do, in this Niger issue. What next to do? Because as it is right now, take it or leave it, this military power, this military juntas, are they going to actually stay more than 3 years if care is not taken? Because in other African countries who have ruled by military presently, when they took over, that's the same thing they said. They gave time frame of when they are going to hand over, to civilian government, but up to this moment, nothing has happened. They keep shifting, 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 and shifting. To hand over to civilian government is not a big deal. I think it happened in Nigeria when General Sani Abacha died and Abusalam Abubakar took over as a military head of state, it only took him 11 months to hand over to civilian government, and that is what Nigeria is still enjoying today, the democracy that was put in place by the Abusalam Abubakar-led government, military government. If he has breached that contract, that's okay. Are going to take a long time to plan another. Nothing will still happen because then they are in power, and you know when the military is in power, you know how it goes. But with the Niger issue presently, they are sovereign nation. You can't just bash into them and dictate for them. The problem is Niger problem. They will find a way of jogging around it and solving this issue. The ECOWAS are doing what they will do, and sanction has been posed. Sanctions have been posed on Niger. But Niger has also told them that listen, if you want dialogue, lift these sanctions so that we can sit down on round table and discuss the way forward. But to me, the way I'm seeing this thing, President Mohamed Bazoum should not think that he will be restated as the next president of Niger. He's been outed. He's been outed. I know by the time the military will want to hand over to civilian government, they want to conduct a fresh election. That is what I'm saying, not automatically restating President Bazoum. They are going to, conduct fresh election in that case. And if most of the time you see the army general who is in power, resigning as a military officer and contesting as a civilian president, and that's exactly what I'm looking at here. It almost happened in Nigeria. Before Abacha died as a military head of state, he floated about there was about five political parties that was registered. There was a plan for to bring in a civilian government, and Abacha was one of the key man, the candidate who aspirant who is contesting for this presidential power. And funny enough, at the end of the day, the five political parties then adopted Abacha as their presidential candidate, which means at the end of the day, nobody to actually contest against him. But as God will have it, Abacha died before that process could take place, and Salem Abubakar took over from him, and from there, there was a plan for its handing over to civilian government, and that happened in May 29, 1999, and that is since then Nigeria has been enjoying this civilian rule, which is actually democracy. But with the plan of this Niger juntas, and the question is, what can ECOWAS do right now? What can they do right now to make sure that a civilian government takes over? Because this is how they did it, in other presently this is the fourth African country that's being ruled by military, and I think take it or leave it the way it's going now. Military it has come to stay in Niger. That's just the way I see it. It has come to stay in Niger. But well, let's cross our fingers and watch how this thing play out. How the military juntas are going to negotiate with ECOWAS and see how this thing worked out. And also, let's see the standby force that the the ECOWAS has put in place. ECOWAS standby force. Let's see what they can do to these NGOs, military juntas. Please, thank you for tuning in. Feel free to comment below. Let us know your take concerning this, and also subscribe to our channel for updates on this and more. Thank you.